Imperator Rome is our new grand strategy title set in the classical era. It's a game that lets you lead a country to greatness. In this film, you'll follow the people who are currently working on this title. What connects us all is our passion for crafting the games we've always wanted to play. Games in which you create your own path to glory. We make the games. You create the stories. I'm Rodrigue Delrue, and I'm a community manager here at Paradox, working on Imperator. One of the things that is really exciting about Imperator is that it combines the greatest hits of Paradox within one game, and this is awesome. So this is our kitchen. This is where we hang to have our meals. This sword is what you receive when you've been around for 10 years. So employees that have been here for 10 years receive this very well-crafted sword. Each year, we take pictures of employees at Paradox, and we ask them to hold a mugshot as if they just gotten into jail. It's quite fun.
My name is Joakim Karlberg, and I am the lead artist at Imperator. So here we have the portrait editor, with which we can essentially try out the portrait system that we're using. What we can see here is the character DNA is a long text string that's generated by the system. If you create a custom character, you will be able to start up this tool and get the DNA string and to use that. Otherwise, the game very much relies on a randomization system when new characters that have no lineage are created. We have aging in the game, so if we pull down the age as they grow up from kids and upwards, and you can see them grow up in the different patrician families and similar. When they stop growing, they instead start to age, and you can see how they start to get wrinkles, and as they grow even older, they start to get gray or white hair. So it's a more advanced system than what we used to have in Crusader Kings 2, which was more 2D based. Well, here it's more of a 3D mesh that's actually deformed instead.
We have a small bug on Mac a few weeks ago that appeared, and I haven't had that much time to test on Mac, meaning that I've let it pretty much go on by having this demonic possessed Mac blinking. The face showing up is of Cassandra, which is the man who killed the children of Alexander the Great.
Great guy.
Yes, great guy, great guy. Oh. People do get a bit uncomfortable watching it, but I love it.
That sounds really good.
Maybe you should use it in a game in some way as an
exactly.
Easter egg.
We'll do it as someone is marching as an Easter egg or something.
When it comes to props gathering for games like this, the biggest issue is like trying to find material that makes sense from the time era. Like that's the biggest restraint overall when it comes to props, the historical accuracy. Nice. This is my old leather shoes.
Exactly.
This is from the time when I was fat, my bigger pants, my lady shoes as well as a Foley artist.
Exactly.
I need to go to a special store to buy them.
So basically everything that is in this box, we can use it separately or we can use it together.
It's really fun to work with the game with all the new tech and so we have in the game. We have so many new things we want to showcase for our fans, because now we've been able to improve the soundscape so much more compared to our previous style. Like this is a big leap what we've been able to do tech-wise.
This game, actually, we were able to implement the audio in a way that is much more dynamic, and that let us iterate much more. How do we get real army sounds? Well, we just grab real armor and we hit it.
This is my dad's old banjo.
If you can find this in the game, I would be super, super happy. And we scrapped it a little bit as well.
Yeah, they would use coins, pick.
Poor old banjo.
Pops is a term we've used in quite a lot of games. In Imperator, pops are categorized in one of 4 different categories. We have citizens, freemen, tribesmen, and slaves. These pops are the ones that are providing the basics of your country. And if they get too angry and too unhappy, you'll end up in revolts. I'm Johan. I'm the creative director at Paradox Development Studio, and I'm working as the game director of Imperator, and also as programmer, UX designer, and whatever we need to make the game finished. I think I'm most proud of is the team we've assembled and the development the team have done together on the game. It's just so fun to see it all come together.
Peter Nicholson, I'm a content designer for Imperator Rome. We try and be as historically accurate as we can. We do a lot of reading, as you can probably tell. There's so much that we know a lot about, Rome, for instance, and Greece. But when you start looking a little further afield, things get a lot more shaky. We don't know a lot about the Celtic or the Germanic tribes at the start period. We don't know much about Britain. So there's a lot of research to be done in that. Personally, I want a sense of depth. I want you to engage with the characters in your realm, for them to actually matter to you.
From the moment I started on this project, I wanted to encourage people to play this game with audio on. I think we managed to gather around an hour of music or around that amount of minutes. But with still, at some point, if it feels that it will repeat, you might be like, okay, this is time for me to put my own soundtrack. And this is something that is completely normal, it's completely fine. But from the sound perspective, I wanted to make you feel like this is important for the game. There is something else that will be transmitted to you, communicated to you, if you actually play the game with audio. So we just did the recording with the guys, and this is for the ship animation of the ship moving. We have only 5 people in here, but our goal is to actually get it to sound like it's a lot more people, right? So this is what we just recorded. Then what we can do is, by exporting all of these different takes of just 5 people and layering them all together, we can get the feeling of a much bigger crowd. And then when we just combine the whole thing, we get our sound. And I think we did a good job, guys.
What our fans could expect, and especially our hardcore fans, they can expect a grand strategy title nested in the classical era, which hasn't been touched for the past 10 years. And I think it's something that the fans are going to appreciate, really.